Our top story this morning, the Home Affairs Minister is standing his ground over plans to deport a Tamil family from Australia, despite growing pressure from Labor, lobby groups and high-profile Conservatives. The family's been taken to Christmas Island after being granted a last-minute injunction. They remain in limbo after lawyers argued the youngest daughter's protection visa claim has not been properly assessed. The Prime Minister has suggested that people smuggling trade could resume if the family is allowed to stay. Broadcaster Alan Jones and former Nationals leader Barnaby Joyce are urging the Home Affairs Minister to use his discretionary powers to keep the family here. Mr Dutton's told Sky News he's standing firm.
It's a tough case. It's a very emotional case, and I understand that, but we have to make sure that people abide by the umpire's decision here, and people can apply for visas offshore as anybody can, but we haven't allowed people to come by boat. I've not had a single person drown on my watch at sea, and I'm not about to start now.
The Labor leader is urging the federal government to intervene and stop the family being deported. Anthony Albanese spoke to 2GB broadcaster Alan Jones, saying an exception should be made.
The Labor leader appeared with Alan Jones this morning on 2GB radio, and as we mentioned in our earlier introduction, Alan Jones, a colleague at Sky News as well, of course, is very strongly supportive of this Tamil family being allowed to stay in Australia.
Peter Dutton could just do a cut and paste from the media statement that he made about the au pairs. Use the same language. That's why the discretion is there in the Act, to give the Minister the power to intervene in cases like this.
Well, they were allowed to stay, the au pairs, lest there be, I love this, any disruption to the child care arrangements of financially comfortable families. They were basically nannies, and they were needed for financially well-off people who obviously were well connected with the government, presumably allowing a family of Sri Lankan Tamil parents and their Australian daughters to remain is not of similar value.
The only difference here is that in the au pairs case, someone had Peter Dutton's mobile number to ring them. That's the difference here.
Absolutely.
The key question to answer, is it in Australia's interest for these people to stay here?
And the example it sets is, you've got to get out of the bush where they can't employ people who want to work, roll up your sleeves and do some dirty work. We love having you. I mean, Mr Morrison says give a fair go to those who have a go.
These people are having a go, Alan.
Well, why do we have Section 195A of the Migration Act? Why do we have that? Which provides discretionary powers to the Minister. It's called the God power, isn't it? Because the Minister has a lot of power. This is what they were designed to do. So what's it there for?
Well, when I raised it with the Prime Minister, I made the point that, yes, it is a decision for the Immigration Minister, but the truth is that Scott Morrison can't say he has no influence over what the Immigration Minister does.
Well, the former Deputy Secretary...
We're here to give a signal, be all over.
Yeah, the former Deputy Secretary of the Immigration Department said this: it's quite clear, if you look at the ministerial intervention guidelines, this case meets those guidelines more clearly than the two au pair cases in which Mr Dutton acted within hours.